Welcome to Workshopping Humanity. Y'all, we did something really cool recently. I'm Brett.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Jared.
I didn't really set that up, but that's fine. So we did something really cool. We all got to go to the Toronto International Film Festival. And today we are here to give you the scoop on some titles you need to be looking out for. We all have our top 5 movies of the festival. And then towards the end, we're going to do something kind of fun and just tell you what our least favorite one is because we also need to tell you what to stay away from. But first, we'll start with the positive and we'll end with the negative, what every English teacher tells you not to do. So, to start with, let's give some honorable mentions and then we'll start. So I'm gonna start with Tristan. He'll give some honorable mentions. Then I'll jump to Jared, and then we'll go to me, and then we'll go back and we'll do a little bit of a. That's a clockwise. Yeah, we'll do a clockwise rotation. So, Tristan,
Okay.
some honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I'm just going to my list here. All right. I got quite a few. Should we do like 5 honorable mentions or?
Oh, you know what? Up to the artist's interpretation.
Okay. Some honorable mentions, films that I really liked out of TIFF. There were quite a few great ones this year. And here are some that just missed my list. Mile End Kicks, which is the follow-up to I Like Movies from Canadian filmmaker Chandler Levac. And this one stars Barbie Ferreira as a music journalist who goes to Montreal to write a book about Alanis Morissette and Jagged Little Pill, and kind of ends up in like a love triangle with 2 members of an indie rock band. It's really cool. It's got a great soundtrack. I didn't like it quite as much as I like movies, but I thought it was really well done. Blue Moon and Nouvelle Vague, I'll just kind of put them both together. The 2 Richard Linklater movies, both fantastic hangout films with very different vibes. But I think people are going to really like them once they hit. And I think they're both coming out in October. So
Really? That's kind of weird that they did that, huh?
yeah.
Huh.
Wait, Jared would probably know. I know Blue Moon for sure is October.
Blue Moon for sure. It's Netflix's Hey Nouvelle Vague on Halloween, and then November is gonna hit November 7th, I think, on Netflix. So Nouvelle Vague's coming a little later, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think October 24th is Blue Moon.
Nice. It Was Just an Accident, which I'm sure Brett's going to talk about as well. The Palme d'Or winner, Jafar Panahi's film. It's just a pretty amazing tonal balance. It's a film that was completely different from what I expected, and it just really impressed me. Tuner, which is from the director of
Tuner. I don't know why I laughed at that.
No, Tuner, like I was not expecting much, but I should have been, because this is the director of Navalny, and we've seen with Naiad that sometimes some really great documentarians, when they go to feature filmmaking, it doesn't work out. But
Naiad's my favorite movie of all time.
Daniel Rower, I think, is a real talent, and this guy's like 32 years old. And he already has an Oscar, and he made this movie with Dustin Hoffman that's just like a really fantastic noir. I had a blast with this one. And then 2 really big ones that just missed my list, which is kind of crazy. But Rental Family, which I know is not going to be anywhere near Brett's list, or probably not on Jared's either. But I really liked it. I thought it
was pee poo poo garbage in my opinion.
Very heartwarming, very well written, and I loved Brendan Fraser. I think he's just a national treasure. And then Hamnet, which I need to see again, because that is an extremely heavy movie, and I saw it on my last day at the festival, after being kind of all movied out.
Yeah.
I think I need to see it again to really fully appreciate it, but it is a pretty incredible film and has some amazing performances in it. So yeah, that's my honorable mentions.
How about you, Jared Mundo?
Hey, so yeah, lucky to go TIFF again for another year. Some honorable mentions. First, I'm gonna start with Roofman. This kind of big Paramount Pictures release starring Channing Tatum as this guy who robs McDonald's and escapes out of prison, lives out of Toys R Us. Um, Super impressive acting by Channing Tatum. I think there's a world where he could at least get a Golden Globe nom, but he's more powerful in the movie than you would expect. And I was really impressed with the world San Fran creates here. It's definitely his most mainstream work, but there's hints of like, what's the word? I don't want to say darkness, but kind of just brutal realism that you expect from the director of Blue Valentine, The Place Beyond the Pines, while still keeping that mainstream tone, which I always think is so impressive. Definitely check it out. I know it comes out in theaters soon, but I wish it got a little more buzz. I think it should have played more to a TIFF crowd. But anyway, I Have Eternity next. A lovely A24 exploration of the afterlife. Amazing production design. Definitely like second place to Frankenstein. While having just a bunch of fun with Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, and Callum Turner, I believe his name is. It was my last movie, so it was nice that it wasn't something like super dark and depressing. And I really enjoyed that. Mon Apatow's Poetic License really hit.
It's not on your list. Sorry,
it's on my honorable mention. It's my number 8.
All right.
We all were at the same screen, and it played our entire crowd like gangbusters. I really want this to be.
Sorry, not to spoil my list.
I really want this to get a wide release. It's just a bunch of fun. And at Just World, Cooper Hoffman is a supporting actor contender.
Yes.
7 is California Scheming, which I know not a lot of people picked out. It seeked out. It was James McAvoy's directorial debut. It's 2 Scottish wannabe rappers that can't seem to make it, so they pretend to be California rappers, and they almost sort of make it big. And so while there's a lot of fun to tell a lie blown to epic proportions, it actually turns into this touching tale of male friendship, your ride or die male friendships that I found really touching, really sweet. That really works for me in the end, mixed with this high energy rap battle. Again, not to be missed. I hope it gets some love soon. My last honorable mention will be Master Gus Van Sant's newest work, Dead Man's Wire.
Wow.
Again, played really well at my premiere screening. Is an American folk hero story, kind of reminiscent. A lot of people are pointing out the parallels to Luigi, for his last name, and Stroni, that's happening now in the world. Of this guy in the 70s who kidnapped basically a guy that did him wrong, an insurance guy, and how he became this like folk hero. Bill Skarsgård gave my favorite male performance of the entire festival. Always doing something energetic and never laying his guard down for a moment. When this performance, you don't see Bill, you see this guy Tony, and you feel his pain, but also has such a charisma that when you're in the theater siding with him before realizing, oh, he's kidnapping an innocent guy. Like, your brain is almost starting to waver in support of him. And it really makes you think about the media and crime and whatnot. So, yeah, that's my honorable mentions.
Yeah, it gave me kind of Dog Day Afternoon vibes. Kind of.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
I didn't see it, but I'm excited because I
Me
heard
neither.
it was really good. Yeah, like apparently it like did real well, and that was kind of like a surprise one. I feel like people kind of slept on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
My honorable mentions, I actually kind of looked at this kind of in a strategic way. My number 5, I decided is a movie that I just like really, really need to tell people about and stand on the top of the hills and be like, see this movie, you know? And so that's why I chose my number 5. I also believe that my honorable mentions are going to be featured both in Jared and Tristan's lists pretty high. So that's why for my number 1, I'll say honorable mention. Tristan's right. It was just an accident, like really great. Really surprised by how entertaining it was. That was the biggest thing. Like I was expecting that movie to be like a slog. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not like I don't want to say that, and I was expecting it to be boring. Like I was just expecting it to be like kind of sad and drab, and like be like, man, I appreciate that, but like no, it was like entertaining. Like I was consistently like kind of on the edge of my seat with that one. But I can see it getting to the awards race. I think it's very accessible. Um, but the ones that are honorable mentions could be my five if I really thought about it for too long. Was Hamnet, which was an excellent movie. It won People's Choice. It's a fantastic film. Um, for me, it didn't grab me the way that it grabbed like everyone else at the festival. That was like, this is like my favorite thing ever made, and I was like, all right. I think it's well made, but I like. There were other movies specifically this year that have moved me more, probably, but I still think it's a great film. That's not. It's just the engagement that doesn't matter. Opinions are like butts or whatever, you know. And let's see. And then I also have Eternity in my honorable mentions, which is really close. That was like one of the most entertaining movies I saw at the festival. It was very, very charming. I really love the world building, like you said, the production design. Like, if you know me and my like things about color theory and production design and all of that, like Eternity was just like a feast for the eyes and the ears and the heart, and it was just like remarkable. I really do. It's like the life of Chuck of this fest. I think I was kind of surprised it didn't even place at People's Choice. Like I was kind of shocked about that because it was just kind of like a nice crowd pleaser, and I think you should definitely seek it out when it comes out. But I'll get to my number five. I'm excited to talk about my number five because y'all should watch it. But first, we'll go to Tristan. Tristan, what's your number five?
All right, so my number five is Poetic License. Um, I had so much fun with this movie, and like I had a feeling it was going to be really good because Maud Apatow has impressed me as an actress. I generally like Judd Apatow's movies. I find that they're um, just really well made comedies with a lot of heart and great stories. And I think that the ensembles that the Apatow films typically have just include some really great actors. And I think Maud has it as a director. Like this was so well done. It's hilarious consistently throughout. Like it's the kind of movie where the whole I mean we all saw it together and our entire theater was just laughing consistently all the time. And that's hard to do to make a film that's like every single joke lands, but Poetic License really did that. Like Cooper Hoffman, absolute star. After watching The Long Walk and this, I really do think he's going to be an A-lister and someone to really watch out for. And he's got a very different presence than his father. He's just very like perfectly executes this comedy, this brand of comedy. I really liked Andrew Bell. What's his name? Andrew.
Bar Feldman.
I've never really seen him before, but apparently he's been big in like the theater scene. But Leslie Mann is just she's got such an infectious energy,
Yeah.
and I think this might be her best role. She has so much to do here, and she's just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great number five choice. Jared, what's your number five?
So my number five, I think I'm highest on this if we take our entire group that was also at TIFF. But picture this, cloudy Sunday morning. What else do you do except to go to church? But your director is Ryan Johnson. So I think I just picked the perfect time on Sunday morning to be seated for Wake Up Dead Man, the newest Knives Out mystery. I really love his other two films. I just love a good ensemble mystery, and I love what Ryan Johnson does of taking these mysteries and also using it to tackle something that's going on in America today, whether it's working class structures in the first one or tech billionaires in the second one, and Glass Onion. And in this one, we're tackling a striking theme of people using religion as this foundation of hate, wrapped up in this murder mystery. I agree with the little beliefs of like I wish there was a problem with Glass Onion. This one where I wish the ensemble had more to do. There are certain characters that get one or two lines of dialogue or one or two pieces of the character, and then that's it. That I wish were expanded more, but man, I had so much fun seeing Daniel Craig again, getting that gothic atmosphere, lights shining towards windows. And Josh O'Connor kills it as our protagonist of this movie. He's my client, of course, so I'm biased. I'm loving anything he does, but to see him really work in a mainstream kind of American movie like this, I think it's going to explode him into stardom even more. And that's before his Steven Spielberg movie coming out next summer by Universal. So he's just on a roll. So I'm happy for him. He does amazing work in this one, and I love I can't wait to rewatch it again when it hits Netflix to kind of digest those themes more and how Americans use this religion for hate when we should be always using it for love and hope and connection instead of division and darkness and hate. So, Wake Up Dead Man, Rian Johnson, I think has done it again. I can't wait to see it again.
Is the Josh O'Connor, like, is that the Spielberg one? Is that the Alien one?
Yeah.
I didn't know that he started. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think the rumor is him and Emily Blunt are like the leads, and like Coleman Domingo, John Walker from Thunderbolts, I'm forgetting his name, is in it.
Is that
the main lady from
Sorry,
Flora and Son? That's just off the top of my head. So you got a good cast.
So that's coming out the same summer as the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, Universal's gonna have a big year next year.
I already had one this year. This is insane.
Yeah.
What is Zagzloff doing? Is he like sacrificing a goat in his backyard every night to keep the streak going? Like, what's happening?
Oh, that's Warner Brothers.
Oh, sorry. No, Universal. No, Warner Brothers this year. Universal next year then.
Mm-hmm.
Disney's book then, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
My number 5. Like I amped up. I'm gonna sing the praises of this movie. I joked to Tristan before seeing this. This is gonna be my nap movie. That's how little expectations I had for Bad Apples.
Yeah.
But this movie's awesome. And what's interesting is throughout the festival, if I brought up Bad Apples to someone and they had seen it, they went, "Yo, right? It's actually really good." Like that was the consensus. Like, well, where did Bad Apples come from? It's coming out on Paramount, right, Jared? I know you know all this.
I haven't heard anything.
Oh, well, there was a Paramount release logo at the start of the film, so I think Paramount's releasing it at some point. I don't know. When this movie comes out, y'all need to see it.
I'm so hyped.
It has like kind of a streaming sheen to it, like the whole film does. It would not surprise me if it skipped theatrical release, but that would be a bummer because seeing this in a crowd was super fun. What's interesting is I believe, again, aesthetically, it does look like a TV movie in a lot of ways, but it's so sharply written and it's so funny. The idea and the concept is essentially Saoirse Ronan has this classroom full of kids, and one of the kids is like a demonic monster kid. Like he's just like the worst, most imaginable, like irritable child on the planet. And one day, an opportunity arises for her to kidnap this child and lock her in her base and lock this kid in her basement.
Oh my god!
Her class gets significantly better after that as investigators try to find where this kid is at, and it's so funny. That was the biggest thing. This movie was hysterical. But it also does like very much tie into some themes with what's going on with educators right now, because like this is a real issue. Like the bad apple thing is a real thing that's going on in the like, especially in schools where you have a few like bad kids that are legitimately ruining not only the experience for the teachers but like for the kids in the classroom, that they can't actually fully learn because there's like one evil child in this class that disrupts it every day. And I actually think this is like pinpointing a certain paranoia within the school system. So I legitimately think when this movie comes out, it will be a big deal for certain group of people. Like, this is going to be like 40-year-old woman's Joker, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I can think of it as. But kind of the twists in this movie, like, I won't say anything. There are some really, really funny angles that this movie takes, including this other kid character that gets introduced who's hysterical. She could potentially be in my supporting actress lineup at the end of the year. There's this kid, and she's so funny. Saoirse Ronan's amazing, and I think it's really great because while what's going on in the situation is obviously like not great, you never not root for her in this movie because like you understand where she's coming from, which is like a really like kind of crazy thing to juggle because what she is doing is inherently wrong, but you're kind of like, but man, I get it. I hope she's okay, you know? Like, so, Bad Apples, hilarious movie. Absolutely watch it. It was like the surprise movie at TIFF for me. Well, that and another one that I'll get to, but like I really enjoyed it. So.
Heck yeah. I couldn't fit that in my schedule, but like I was definitely looking for that one. I'm glad I've heard it's good. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, you need to check it out. It's great. Tristan, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Sentimental Value, which was my most anticipated film of the entire year. So a little disappointing that it didn't end up being my number 1.
You're
but
like,
it's
I
still
only thought it was great. I did.
I only gave it a 9 out of 10. No, it was fantastic. I mean, Joachim Trier is a filmmaker who, for me, always hits. Except that movie, Louder Than Bombs. That movie sucks.
I forgot about Louder Than Bombs for one.
But everything else he's done is really amazing. Sentimental Value is this deeply moving family drama that, just like Worst Person in the World, chronicles these characters using like a segmented format, and I feel he does that so well. It almost feels like a book, and there's different chapters, and you get to learn about all of these different characters and their different dynamics with each other. And I think it does a great job exploring family dynamics and how, specifically through the eyes of people in the art world, and how art can heal, but also like break apart these relationships, and the balance between wanting to achieve your goals as an artist and, you know, put out the best work you possibly can, but also maintain all of these different relationships. I think it's very emotional, and it's a film that I think for people in the film industry and for artists in general, I think is going to really hit. Um, Stellan Skarsgård is phenomenal in the film. I think he's an actor who's been around forever, but this is such a deep performance, and there's so much that he communicates with just like glances. Like, he doesn't even really need to speak, and you know exactly what this character is feeling. And Renata Reinsve obviously is fantastic. Elle Fanning, I think that's a character that could have been easily one note, and she brings so much to that role. And then I think we've got a real new star in Inga Ibsdottir Lilius, who's so subtle, but is the real heart of that film. It's great. It's not quite on the level of Worst Person in the World for me, but I also feel that this is a film that's geared towards an older audience, and that the older I get and the more life experience I have, I'll connect to it on a deeper level. Whereas like Worst Person in the World is about being in your late 20s and kind of navigating that period. So that's a film that right now speaks to me more. But I'm excited to watch this again because it could easily become one of my very favorite films of the year. But I think there's just so much in it and so much subtlety that I need to watch it again to get a full read on it. But it's amazing.
Heck yeah. Unfortunately, Jared and I, neither one of us saw it.
Yeah, because TIFF scheduled it like the first 2 days when we weren't there, and then never again.
Yeah,
they scheduled it actually the day after we left. They dropped a screen. I'm like, really, guys, come on. Yeah, that's definitely one of my most anticipated. Like, there's always like that one movie you just watch the trailer for constantly, and Cinema Value is one of them. It has a great trailer. Love Worst Person. Yeah, Neon, let's push that out soon, please, from Hanford, California.
Yeah. I'll get Neon on the phone. I'll be like, hey, release Sentimental Value right now.
Send us screeners, please. Thank you.
All right, cool. I'm Brett from Workshopping Humanity. You know me.
So my number 4. No one. I wish there was more buzz and more people saw because I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and that is Nia DaCosta's Hedda, reimagining of a beloved 18th century play, but it's so revamped in such a cool way. This is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf meets Babylon in the best way possible, as we follow this one party in this elegant 1950s setting, all under the guise of Tessa Thompson's Hedda, as drinks are flowing, pawns are manipulated, guns are fired, ceilings fall. Just so pure craziness. The production design is grand, but it's Tessa Thompson's show, and she runs away with everything. If Amazon isn't practically giving up on this movie a little more than they did with preparation for The Next Life, I think there's a real chance they could have done a great Oscar campaign for her. Not to say it's out of the left field, but the way it's kind of just dumped on Prime at the end of October is kind of doesn't bode well. But maybe it can have like a Saltburn resurgence where a lot of people watch it, and it gets the love because it's really fantastic and it's just so much fun. Nia Haas, who everyone might know from Tar, is really good in a supporting role as Hedda's kind of like ex-lover that's competing with Hedda's husband for a role. That's kind of the main conflict of this entire movie and this fight. Is the cause of Hedda's manipulation. There's a jazzy score by, I'm forgetting her name, I know it's hard to pronounce, but it's a lady who did like the Joker score, but she keeps the party moving, and it's so, there's a beat, there's a rhythm that makes the editing flow as this night goes on and reaches into the next morning when tragedy may or may not strike. Highly recommend. I was so glad I catched it in theater, but you guys can catch it at Amazon at the end of October, and I highly recommend you do. I had a lot of fun.
That's great. I love the picks. That's like such a unique Jared pick. Also, let's give a shout out to Nina DaCosta for apparently making a good movie. I feel so bad for phrasing it like that because she seems so friendly. Like, I love her on Blank Check. Like, she's been on 2 episodes of Blank Check, and she seems delightful. And I have not liked a single Nina DaCosta movie yet. So
and reminder, she is doing The Next 28 Years Later, which got a really good fan base this past summer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's going to be, if they're on for her movie in January, then I think that will help elevate her even more. So I'm excited for her.
I think part of it is apparently her debut, Little Woods, is really great, and she got a lot of attention for that. But then she immediately, too early in her career, got plucked into the world of blockbuster filmmaking, and she apparently, like, the studio really took over, especially with the Marvels, and she's never really gotten to show her vision. And that's a problem. I think sometimes when these indie filmmakers get like thrown into blockbuster filmmaking without really having proven themselves and end up being like given this big platform, then it can kind of set them up for failure. Like, I kind of wish she got to make Hedda before going into blockbuster filmmaking, because she would have had a bit more cachet to be able to make her own decisions and not let the studio like control.
Yeah. Well, even like something like The Marvels, which is literally, I'd rather watch Toilet Water than that movie again. That movie, like, I don't blame her for it. Really. Yeah, it's like that's the most made on committee movie I've ever seen. Like,
it doesn't feel like there was a director, to be
honest. Like, it really doesn't. Like, I just feel like they plucked the name out there and they're like, you Nina DaCosta. We need you to stay behind the camera as we tell you exactly what you need to say. Like, it's tough.
Yeah, I feel bad for Julius. I think Ona is his last name. He made a popular indie in 2019 called Lucas, and he directed the Captain America movie that came out in February.
Yeah,
and I think the same exact thing happened to him. And both African American filmmakers too. I think it really sucks. But we'll talk about it later, but Chloe Zhao seems to have kind of broken out of that after her stint with Marvel and the Eternals with Hamnet. So.
Yeah, but also what I'll say about Eternals, no matter if you like or dislike that movie, like I'm an Eternals defender. I think it's a good movie.
Me too, yeah.
That is distinctly a Chloe Zhao movie. Like in every DNA, like you can tell. There's stuff that would have immediately been cut from that movie if she didn't have full control. Like there's some weird stuff in that movie. They would have been like, no, we're not doing that. It's also why it didn't do that well, which is a bummer. But
it's no way. It sucks that that's always gonna hold forever, like the worst reviewed MCU movie when there's like 10 other ones that could probably peak.
It's like one of the better Marvel movies.
It's kind of cool.
It's a borderline top 10 Marvel for me. I think it's great. But whatever. I think I even joked. I might have joked to somebody. I was like, I like Hamnet about as much as I like Eternals, and they went, "What?" And I was like, "I just really like them both." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I am like, Nomadland's her best movie still.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Let's see, my number 4 is, I'm gonna butcher this title. I don't want to feel so bad. I can't speak French.
Nouvelle Vague.
Nouvelle Vague. Okay, cool. Thank you. Nouvelle Vague is my number 4. This is a new Richard Linklater film. Richard Linklater is like one of like my biggest like filmmakers that I just have a deep attachment to. Like some of his movies are like some of my favorite movies ever made. Every time he swings, I'm gonna go see it, even if sometimes I kind of walk out and I'm like, I don't know, I'd never probably need to see Last Flag Flying, but hey, you know what? I saw that.
Or Where Do You Go, Bernadette?
Yeah, but with the two at the festival, I actually didn't like Blue Moon that much. I thought it was a little overcooked. I thought it looked really bad. I thought it felt a little staged in a way that his movies usually don't. But Nouvelle Vague was terrific. I really loved it. I think it's his best movie since Boyhood, honestly. Aesthetically, this movie is so pretty. I love the way that it like flourishes the kind of French New Wave style of filmmaking. I know some people are gonna have the same issues that they did with Saturday Night with this. It's a pastiche of something. I don't care if you're making the pastiche and you're doing a good job at it. I'm going to enjoy it. Like I don't understand how that's a critique, really, but whatever. I thought the presentation of Godard here was wonderful, and like kind of as someone who is right now making his own movies and being on set, this is like one of the most accurate depictions of like set life, especially with a tour filmmaking, but not only just a tour filmmaking, but amateur filmmaking I've ever seen. Because these people are just kind of hanging out, they're having fun, they don't really know what they're doing. It's kind of like I thought about Asteroid City watching this movie, how it's like, I don't understand the play, but we just got to finish it anyways, right? There's that mentality of like, we're going to figure out the meaning behind this as we create it in real time. And like, it's a miracle that ended up being like maybe one of the most influential French films ever made, if not the one. It's just like a really interesting movie that I kept thinking about throughout the festival. I think all the performances are wonderful. Again, just it looks immaculate, but it's also just like a fun hangout movie. Like it very much feels like Dazed and Confused, but it's in the French New Wave, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like, of course, I want to spend all my time in that. Like, that's awesome. And also for me, as someone who like, in college really did study like early cinema, French New Wave, all of that. Like it kind of felt like the Avengers for me as like all the different people are popping up. Like there's Agnes Varda. Ah, that's so cool. Oh, there's my guy Truffaut. I love the 400 blows. Like I kept doing that the whole time. Like this is like our friend Miles. This is his Avengers Endgame. And I loved it. I just had such a fun time with this movie, and this is going to be one of the ones like when I look back on my list, this is one that I'll watch multiple times in my life. You know what I mean? Like it's one I'll go back to. So I really thought it was great. Again, I think it's one of the better Linklater movies to come out in a long time. So it's my number 4. Tristan.
So I'm on number 3 now.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is so tough. I feel like my top 3, I didn't have like one movie that, like last year, for example. I gotta say, last year I thought the movies were better than this year.
Agreed, but
last year I had The Brutalist, which was my favorite movie of the year.
Yep.
This year I don't think Parthenope is gonna stay my favorite. I feel like I'm really hoping like One Battle After Another takes it over, but none of these movies ended up beating Parthenope in the end. So they didn't pass the Parthenope test, unfortunately.
Every movie I watched except for Ballad of a Small Player passed the Black Adam.
But
sorry.
I do love my top 3 very much, and I don't quite know how to rank them. But I guess for now, okay, number 3, I'll do Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, from Matt Johnson, who is kind of like a hero to me because he's someone who is from Toronto, and back in 2007, he finished school and decided with his best friend Jay McCarroll that they were just going to pick up a camera and make a web series. And this was like before YouTube like really took off, and they didn't really have a plan. They just kind of shot themselves like doing funny stuff and did this like kind of mockumentary type thing that was sort of influenced by Just for Laugh gags, where they'd go around and they knew that it was a joke, but like the people around them didn't realize that this was like a show that they were filming. So there was like kind of that real life aspect to it, and the show ended up really taking off. And then years later, after Matt Johnson started his film career with The Dirties and Operation Avalanche, he went back to it and did a sitcom. And now he's going back to it once again after really like taking off with Blackberry. And this is like such a testament to like Jared, you were saying how California Scheming is a love letter to male friendship. This one is as well. And it's so real because these two really are best friends in real life, and they've been working on this project for like 20 years at this point. And to see it go from like this tiny little like web series back in 2007 to this big budget like crazy movie with these insane stunts is really amazing. And it's this love letter to Toronto. There's so many like inside jokes that were so funny, and that like you have to be in Toronto to have lived in Toronto to understand. But at the same time, there's also so many other jokes that everyone is going to love, that I think it has just so much to offer for anyone who likes comedies. It's like a really fun riff on like Back to the Future or Bill and Ted. But it's just so skillfully put together. And I think it's a movie that I'm going to watch many, many more times. It was one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. And yeah, it's fantastic.
Nice. I am so bummed that I didn't get to see it because I wanted to see it so badly and I could not get in. Hopefully it comes out soon because
Yeah.
it's right up my alley.
February apparently.
February.
It was supposed
Work
to
your
come
magic,
out.
Neon.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in like this month, but they used the Back to the Future music. And there's like a whole copyright battle. And there's also basically, because it's a mockumentary, there's certain people who were filmed in the movie that they need to get clearance from. Like, are you okay being in this film?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's kind of a legal nightmare, but apparently they have a set date for February.
Okay. Well, hopefully that happens. Please.
Yeah.
I'll almost be 28. Please, just release that. All right.
Yeah, my number 3 was a movie I was like, oh, this could be good, but I kind of kept it on the back burner. And I saw it and I really fell in love with it. And it is Netflix's Train Dreams. Really poetic, stylistic journey of the most average logger in the 20th century. Living life, experiencing death, having bad luck, having some highs, having some really deep lows as we get existential about life at the TIFF Lightbox Cinema too. That was basically my experience here. I was so like, it was kind of like my second to last day of the festival, so I was so like zonked out, but I was still looking at beauty, and Joel Edgerton's amazing. So it was just such an amazing time to be like, oh man, is like life worth living, you guys? And like, yeah, it's just astonishing that the filmmakers managed to do that while crafting these beautiful wilderness images that you just get lost in the entire movie. It's a perfectly made for the big screen, which is why its biggest downfall is that it's going Netflix. Yeah. So I just highly recommend that if you are lucky enough to live in like the New York, LA area, please go see it in the theater because I think it'll be really worth it. These images are made for the big screen and to be lost in the forests and the trees of the natural world that we live in, and the trains of it all. So yeah, check out Train Dreams. It's really, really cool, and it's gonna go really under the radar for what it is. So
I hope it gets following. I really enjoyed this one too. The score and like the cinematography at the especially the first 30 minutes. I was like, ooh, my chills got chills, like it was good stuff. I like its Malick approach to life. It's something that I do need to watch again when I'm not sleep deprived and hungry.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Because at one point I was just like, man, William H. Macy, he's just talking about trees, and he's still talking about trees. It's been 10 minutes, he's still talking about wood. This is crazy. I remember somebody at one point like shot someone, and I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. This is wild. You're going bananas now. Anyway, I liked it. I don't know what I'm saying. My number 3 is my most anticipated movie at TIFF, and one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Our guy Del Toro is back, and he's brought to us the Frankenstein. Del Toro's adaptation of Frankenstein is something I've been following for a long time. This definitely felt like Del Toro's passion project. I guess like he says that about every movie because the dude's just full of passion. But regardless, all of his movies are kind of in their own way revolve around his fascination with Mary Shelley and Frankenstein. So he's finally just like, I gotta itch to scratch. Obviously you're seeing this kind of be translated in my other works. He loves the monster and he appreciates the monster and the beauty of things that might look vile on the outside. And I think the most interesting part of Frankenstein is its framing and kind of the way that the story is separated into two chunks and the way that we see humanity presented in a way that is not typical of a monster movie of this size and scale. I mean, James Whale with the original Frankenstein does understand the fact that Frankenstein itself is a tragic character. He did not ask for autonomy. He did not ask to be made or created, and he has to figure out exactly the environment he is in and how to adjust to that. He is essentially the brain of a baby in the body of a giant man, trying to connect the things. Um, the original Frankenstein, one of the most tragic scenes in that movie is like when he throws the little girl in the pond, which is like famous now because it's like he was just playing. He didn't know. And so it's one of these things where like in this movie it really does address the fact that like Frankenstein's a misunderstood creature and that we need to appreciate all of God's creatures, because we've all got to share the same world together. And beautiful, beautiful cinematography, immaculate set design, the best production design of the year. I mean, it's Del Toro. The man just all the details are so precise. But for me, this very much felt like classic 90s Tim Burton era aesthetic as well. I got a lot of like production design from Bo Welch from this entire set. And I just love all of that. It's so, and it is like it's a challenging movie. It's a slow movie. I do think that some people will not like this movie. They'll be scrolling through Netflix like, "Oh, cool, new Frankenstein movie. I can't wait to get scared." It's not a horror movie. It's
No,
really
not at all.
in any way.
No.
It's
Yeah.
it's a reflection on a lived life and grief and understanding your place in the universe. That has Frankenstein in it. Jacob Elordi's performance is something to be studied in school. It is one of the best performances I've probably ever seen. He's my choice for supporting performance of the year. It's insane. But like for me, I can compare this the best to Peter Jackson's King Kong, as well as telling some people a movie that I have so much love for. Like I love that movie. I've always defended that movie. I think it's fantastic because Peter Jackson essentially loved movies because he saw King Kong at a young age, and that's the thing he was obsessed with. And he was kind of like, I need to adapt King Kong. I want to make an entire Lord of the Rings trilogy that wins me 12 Oscars so I can make a 3.5 hour epic based off of an hour and 20-minute movie about King Kong and really dissect why that thing meant something to me. And this very much felt like Del Toro's like, yeah, I won Best Picture. It's time for me to make like a 2-hour movie that's a slow meditation on the universe that has got Frankenstein in it because that's what Mary Shelley would have wanted. And I'm like, bro, go off. We love it. So yeah, I love Frankenstein. It's a great film. I was expecting it to be my favorite coming into the festival, but I'm not disappointed in it. I don't think. I just like the other two that I saw. There's something hit. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it barely made my honorable mentions, like number 11. But man, I'll props to Jacob Elordi, Oscar Isaac, even Mia Goth, just as this like sensible like it's nice to have a character that was like, oh, he's like still someone to care for, And then it was really interesting the angle of like Del Toro being like, hey, father-son relationships, especially abusive ones. Like, let's take a look at that, with the story. So, yeah, it was a lot, but I loved it. We'll watch again for sure.
Oh yeah,
Jacob Elordi, holy cow! Netflix, you better get that money rolling, get that campaign going. He's genuinely fantastic.
I think this is one that's only going to grow with time. I think when people figure out what this movie is, like the love for this movie is going to flourish in that regard. Like, I can totally expect myself liking this even more and even raising it on this list with subsequent viewings now that I know what the approach is. I still loved it, but I'm just saying, like, I think there's going to be so much you can take away from this movie. Also, when I'm not tired and in the back of Princess of Wales. So
yeah. We love you, Princess of Wales.
Shout out to our homegirl, Princess of Wales.
All
right, we're getting to it, guys.
All right,
top two.
My number two. Oh, I don't know. So tough because I feel like they're tied, and I love them for different reasons. But you know what? I'm gonna go with my heart. My number 2 is No Other Choice, from Park Chan-wook. Uh, this is an incredible film. I for whatever reason like have not seen a lot of Park's work. I've seen Decision to Leave, and that's it. That's all I've seen from him. Yeah. So I was going into this not really knowing um what his films are all about, because from what I understand, Decision to Leave is completely different from uh most of his work, and this is more in line with what like a lot of his classics. But this is such a clever film. It's another one that's like a takedown on capitalism and the job market right now, and how tough it is for people, and how we're now conditioned to feel like if we're not able to get a job, it's like the end of our lives. And it also, I think, has a lot to say about masculinity and um, like society's pressures on people to get to have that like perfect job. And it's um it's really poignant, but also incredibly funny, and it goes down so many different um paths that you never see coming. It's just uh I think there are going to be a lot of comparisons to Parasite, not just because of its themes, but also because of how it unfolds, and it like has this really tricky balancing act that it's doing, where it's balancing a bunch of different genres, and it can become incredibly dark, but it's also funny at the same time. And I thought Lee Byung-hun was absolutely incredible in this film. To me, he would be one of my best actor nominees, and I really hope he gets in there. But it's yeah, it's one of those movies that I think when you come away from it, it has a lot to discuss, but it's also incredibly enjoyable, and I think it's going to find a wide fan base. And I I would not be surprised if Neon have 3 contenders this year for Best Picture, because this is one that I think is going to really catch fire, and a lot of people are going to absolutely love. And I I think it's going to get into Best Picture.
I would love that. It would have to. I think it would have to take down it, which is just an accident to get him. But I think it could happen.
I think there's room for all 3.
Really
I have all 3 in my predictions right now.
interesting. I think one of them would have to miss. I'm not against sentimental value missing, but that's a hot take.
No way. I think Lionsgate got films in back in 2016, and they're not like a huge, like they never were like a huge Oscar player.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's possible. I know people say Neon doesn't have the money, but they just spent like billions of dollars, well, not millions of dollars on like tons of movies at Cannes. So I'm sure they could do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. To be a fly on the wall of Neon's offices right now, so they're probably like stressing.
Yeah.
Go Neon team! I know you can do it.
Life of Chuck could still make picture. You never know.
Ah, man, they did that movie so dirty.
Yeah, they did.
My number 2, we kind of already talked about, but Nouvelle Vague. I'll just talk about like, I think a very specific Jared Core thing is group of young people working together as artists to make something that ends up being beneficial. AKA, this is a great double feature with Saturday Night.
Yeah.
But Nouvelle Vague is like, it's just like Brett says, this hangout movie. It's chill vibes. It's funny. It's just got a great cast. I mean, I'm trying. Let me see his name that I'm probably gonna mispronounce, but Drame Murbach as Godard and Zoe Desch as Gene Steinberg are really great. And it just I remember telling Brett walking out of the screen, it makes me want to pick up my phone and start recording the streets of Toronto, just start making something. I want to record someone doing a cartwheel on the street of Toronto, There's an energy to create. There's a moment in the movie at the beginning where Godard is talking like a producer, and it's like, we're going to start the new wave, and it's not just going to be a wave, we're going to make a tidal wave. Just like, there's something about watching this movie and just knowing that these are people just like trying to make something, and then we know as an audience, as the film ends, that it's going to be a big foundation of cinema history, and that these are people that are creating something really special. And who knows, that could be me, that could be you two here, that we could just start something, just pick up our phones, pick up a camera, and something big might happen. There's optimism, there's hope, there's creativity in that I just really fell in love with. And then it's just like, it's weirdly more mainstream. I think if you open your heart and you open reading subtitles on Netflix, man, I think you just have so much fun. There's like jokes and whatnot, and pinball machines and just classic quotes. Highly check it out. I fell in love with this way more than I was expecting, but you go, Richard Linklater. I believe in you. Give us that merrily we roll along before you die, please. Please and thank you.
Wrap it up, man. I mean, I appreciate the time setting, but we want to see it. My number 2. It's time to talk about getting some licenses to be poetic. Poetic license. I was not expecting this movie to be my number 2 of the festival going into it. I would have never been able. I thought it looked really entertaining, and I liked that it had fall vibes. And I was like, "Oh, that's cozy. That's cool. I like that." I was expecting a good old grand time. I wasn't expecting for this to be like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. But everything about this movie like landed for me. I was howling through the whole thing, but then I also thought that it was a really, really interesting coming of age story, because the coming of age arc is with the 40-year-old woman, and I thought that was a really unique angle to take this movie to. You guys don't know, Judd Apatow is the showrunner of Freaks and Geeks, which is like one of my favorite things ever made. I do know that he made a spiritual successor to Freaks and Geeks called Undeclared with Jay Baruchel, which is kind of like the college equivalent to Freaks and Geeks. I've never seen it. It's been on my list for a long time. For me, Poetic License is maybe like the closest I've gotten to like the college Freaks and Geeks that I've seen. I think there was like the character situations and the humor. It's that scratch for me, which is why I think it really resonated with me so much. I thought Cooper Hoffman gives like one of the best performances of the year. He was so funny. Everything that like just his comedic timing is unparalleled. By the end of the movie, I really felt like I knew these characters and I was rooting for them to be okay. And like it was one of these like I was sad that this wasn't a TV series, because like I would watch multiple episodes of these characters just hanging out and grabbing food. Like the relationship between those two friends is so funny and so palpable and so nice. And again, it's another movie about male friendships. That was a big thing at this festival.
Yeah, that's the theme of TIFF, male friendships.
Yeah. But I love that. But it's also about 3 individuals who are really lost, who are trying to find their space, and then having to because, and the idea behind it was like, these 2 kids are like, you know what? We found our place. It's this woman. We love this woman. Like she's ours. They have to figure out. Yeah, no. You can love each other, but that's not like. You can't fall in love with the 40-year-old woman. This isn't The Graduate, you know. But overall, I just was like cozy vibes through the whole thing. It's a comfort. It will be a comfort watch for me for a very long time, like this, and. There were a few films this TIFF where there was a moment in the movie where I was enjoying it so much where I felt like I was like floating. I feel like that's something that I look for in these movies. I can pinpoint halfway through The Brutalist, I felt like I was elevating out of that theater. I was so jazzed because I was like, cinema, the power of cinema. This is what I do when I do. And then like The Holdovers was the same way. I was just like, oh my gosh, movies. And like my number one is my number one, and I'll explain why I loved it. But with Poetic License, it was the one that made me feel like I was kind of floating, which is weird. I would have ever expected it to be that one, but it was the one where I was just like, everything about this is just kind of working for me. And I'm in love with Maud Apatow, so
yes.
Poetic License is my number two. Now, we're going on to number one. So Tristan, what's your number one?
My number one is another one that I absolutely did not expect this to be my number one. I watched the trailer and I thought it looked interesting, but I felt it was going to end up being like pretty sappy and saccharine. But Eternity is my number one. It's so good. It's so good. And I will say I'm a little biased because I like really love these afterlife films that kind of depict what it may look like for us once we're gone, and kind of ask these philosophical questions. 9 Days is a film I gave 10 out of 10 to, and like I don't know anyone else who gave it that score. Maybe Jared. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 out of 5
Heck
on
yeah.
Letterboxd, baby. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of the decade.
I think it's like a 3.5 or a 4 for me. I like
it. Yeah. For me, that movie like moved me on such a profound level. And I don't know if I love Eternity as much as 9 Days. 9 Days legitimately is top 10 of the decade for me. But this is phenomenal. It also The Good Place, one of my favorite shows of all time. And this is right in with that. I think it's just such a complex question to ask. Like, if you die, like, do you pick the person that you're with right now, or your first husband who died in the war? Like that is such an interesting question to be at the center of this film. And what I loved about this movie that I didn't know going in is that both Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen are playing characters that are like 90 years old. And they play it in such an interesting way. Like I did not know that angle was going to happen. And then that, Callum Turner's character died in a war, and that he was married to her when she was like in her 20s, and now she's so interesting. It asks really interesting questions. I feel like never takes the easy route, and I came out of that movie being like deeply moved. And it's also just so well made. Like the design and the way they build the afterlife is like really creative. I love like I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want to spoil it, but there's just certain elements that I've never seen in a movie like this that just really bring this world to life. And it's got like a very specific set of rules that they establish in the afterlife that I thought was really unique and gave it character. But it's a great movie. It's got like mainstream, like a mainstream feel to it, where I think a lot of people are going to really love it and like go in and cry. But it's also very smart and has a lot on its mind, and it makes a lot of sense that this is an A24 movie.
Yeah. And I want to shout out Divine Joy Randolph. Freaking hilarious in this movie. Role. I really loved her in this. Her pronunciation of just hummus and like a certain scene was just cracked me up. I love her so much. Academy Award winner Divine Joy Randolph. Thank you, holdovers. Yeah. This is my turn for number one. Call me the People's Choice winner because it's Hamnet. It's Hamnet, boys.
I thought you were about to say "Call Me by Your Name," and I was like, "I guess, sure."
Yeah, might as well break the break the rules. Nothing was good as Call Me by Your Name that she has in 17 official selection. Hamnet was freaking amazing. It's everything you've heard about and more. It's got great hype. Chloe Zhao. Like, wow, it's like, yeah. I don't know. It's just so crazy. I love this movie. There is so much emotion towards everything. There's a world where this movie could have been, hey, nudge, nudge, this is William Shakespeare. Like, you pay attention, this is William Shakespeare. Like, this is his biography. But no, we are focusing on his wife, Agnes. They don't care that's William Shakespeare. Chloe is like, no, this is just a normal family that happens to be living in 1800s. And the husband just happens to be a Latin tutor. Okay, cool. Let's ride with this wave. And then a really, like, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, this is about, like, a grief of losing a child. But we've all lost some. Like, we don't have kids, of course, but we know it's like losing someone. So the death scene that happens, man, I almost feel like I want to, like, put a content warning over it. Like, there should be, like, a warning. Like, there is a child death scene, y'all. Like, you gotta be careful, I told my mom when I came home, like, you cannot watch this movie. I don't know if moms could watch this movie because it's so traumatic. But shout out to, what's his name? Like, Jalori Jupe or something. Such a great job.
So good. Jupe's brother.
Yeah, which makes the ending, like, work that much more. Not to spoil anything. It's weird because I think everyone's kind of said what I'm thinking. It's great. Jessie Buckley is. Hope she prepares her Oscar speech. She has a lot of time to, like, work on it, rewrite it, and that she has it down well. That her child's college tuition fund is, like, settled, because she's taking it. Paul Mescal's great as well. That man breaks down so much, and he's such a good crier. He does that really well here. And then the ending, we talked about, like, floating in certain scenes. The ending, the last, like, 15, 20 minutes, yeah, I'm floating on another sphere. Thank you, Chloe Zhao. Thank you to the entire team. Thank you, Spielberg and Sam Mendes, for producing. Like, what a team. Thank you, Tiff, for showcasing art. And this is what cinema is for. It's to enlighten, to inspire. And I loved it. Check out Hamnet Out Wide, December 12th.
Hamnet, ladies and gentlemen.
Heck yeah.
It might win Best Picture. You never know.
Heck yeah.
It's a big contender now.
Yeah. It's probably that in one battle after another at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know. It's just like, remember towards the beginning of the year when we were like, yeah, Hamlet's going to be like the Oscar bait movie that doesn't make it in. Like, man.
And then look at the Teds of Sharon.
I heard, like, on awards podcasts and stuff, people like, oh, this is just going to be like Shakespeare in Love. No.
What?
No, that is
so
not
much better.
I know. It's insane that people thought that a Chloe Zhao movie was going to be like Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, you know what? We can all be wrong sometimes. I thought it would be always was going to be good. I just didn't know it would be like,
yeah.
What was that noise I just made? I didn't know it would be like colossal or anything.
It's so good. There's a new noise being made for it.
Yeah. It's this. Okay.
Yeah. Cinema.
My number one, guys.
Okay.
We're here. The moment you've been waiting for. No. So my number one movie of TIFF is No Other Choice. This movie rocks. I saw it twice thanks to our friend Jared here for hooking that up for me. Fun fact about me, I've had a lot of workly related trauma. It feels too loaded for me to say it out there, but if I did explain to you some of the things that have happened in workplaces, you'd be like, yeah, no, you have every right to have work-related trauma. I've had some bad experiences. And so this movie immediately kind of resonated with me in that sort of heightened anxiety of trying to get a job and trying to find a foundation and having that be your identity was really fascinating. Like Tristan said, Lee Boy, how do you pronounce his name? Guys, I'm so white. I'm so sorry. Um, Lee Byung Hun, right?
I
I
need to
interviewed
have
him
it
and
in
I
front of
met
me to.
him. Anyways, my favorite male performance of the year so far. He's incredible in this movie. And what this movie is able to do so well is have a really, really dark, serious subject matter and present it like it's a Looney Tunes cartoon in some ways, but like it never loses its edge. It never feels like it's conflicting with tone. It always just feels correct. I think that's another way that it feels kind of like Parasite is because of what a tonal like perfect juxtaposition it is. Some of the coolest production design of the year as well. Like his plant house is so interesting to look at, and that whole set piece is great. Um, there's a sequence that involves gloves. That's all I'll say. And it is one of the most well choreographed action sequences I've probably seen in a movie in the last 10 years. It's incredible, just nail biting, tense. Um, I just like this movie really engrossed me in every way. And it was the movie that definitely impressed me the most, even just cinematically. Um, it's like Park Chan Wook finds every way to make something interesting. Something that could just be like a simple scene that's a shot reverse shot of two people talking in a business meeting. Like you'll be like, I'm going to put the camera right here in the corner. And it's going to have a little bit of an edge to it. Like he always keeps the viewer's eyes alert, and he always brings attention to things. And just the way he's able to create this heightened reality but still make it feel so real and palpable is a miracle. I don't even know how he really did it. It's it's an incredible movie. It is so funny. It is so riveting. I would love if this got to the best picture because this will be a top 5 movie of the year for me for sure. I mean, it is a movie that has not left me. It's not left my mind. It is one that really did resonate with me on several levels. And once again, I think if you've ever been frustrated with capitalism, like this is the movie for you. Um, which I know a lot of people are like, yeah, we get eat the rich movies all the time, but this one's different because it's not like him trying to necessarily take down the big boss. It's literally him just trying to get a job. Um, that's it, you know. It's really interesting. Um, I think I explained to someone that it gives me Breaking Bad vibes a little bit as well because you kind of see this man's descent into doing some things that you should not root for him to do. But at the same time, you're consistently being like, man, I hope he makes it out okay. I hope he figures out his way. I hope he learns from his mistakes. There's a lot of great humanity and character work in here that really does make it flourish. And yeah, no other choice. That is my number one movie of TIFF. We did it, y'all. Those are our movies of TIFF. Now, let's do worst movie of TIFF.
Yeah, we respect all the artists that
Yeah.
are showcased at TIFF, but there always has to be one that is at the bottom. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I have like 4 that are terrible.
I have 3, so I could see, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we all agreed that Scarlet was really rough.
Mm-hmm.
That was the worst. Like
same here.
Yeah. I don't know how you can get any worse.
Yeah. No, I would, man, picking between that and Ballad of a Small Player is like picking between if I either get punched in the face or the stomach. I don't know.
Okay, here's my thing. Ballad has Colin Farrell, good cinematography, some dancing. It's weird as heck. Scarlet has really bad CGI, a script that like makes up rules as it goes along and then tosses it in the trash in a really weird way. I'm so sorry, Ashitaka, our anime friend. It's not good.
It's really bad. Man, Scarlet might be a half-star movie for me.
It also looks ugly. It's like not a animated movie.
Well, I hate the CGI of it all. Yeah.
Y'all like just explained it, and I went, yeah, I would like. I just don't know. I would literally rather go to the dentist than watch that movie again.
It's terrible.
And it sucks too because Hosoda is like an incredible director. He's made some like amazing movies.
Yeah.
You know, like Wolf Children.
Team Summer Wars over here.
Like Wolf Children's a masterpiece. Like that movie is genuinely incredible.
I agree.
Amazing. Summer Wars, like you said, great. Like it's just, I don't know what happened here. I guess we all need our Earwig and the Witch, and this is his. I don't know. Like,
I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah.
Wait, who directed Earwig and the Witch?
That was his son, Goro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, we also have to talk about Ballad of a Small Player because that was also just like horrendous.
It was terrible, but it's only my 4th least favorite of the festival.
Interesting.
There are 3 worse. Yeah.
I think you're right about there being a dedicated Colin Farrell performance and like really good cinematography and editing and color theory was nice, right? Mm-hmm. For me, that's like if you took a piece of poop and you like polished it. Yeah, it looks really shiny. I guess you could shoot it on camera and it's like in focus and we put a neon light on it, but my word, it's just a piece of poop. I can't get much out of that. You know, there's a certain point if what you are presenting on screen is so bad, it doesn't matter how good it looks or sounds. Like, why on earth would I want to look at that? You know what I mean? Why on earth would I want to experience this? For me, Ballad of a Small Player is like that weekend movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow, that came out, made for like 45-year-old white men.
Wow, that kind of like, yeah, I agree with that statement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most self-indulgent nonsense I've ever seen. But as someone who is like doesn't hate Hurry Up Tomorrow as much, I was at least entertained about what was going on in that movie and what stupid asinine decision it was going to make next. Like for me, this is the difference. And Hurry Up Tomorrow, I was watching the screen like this. What? What are they doing? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. That's great. This is me in Ballad of a Small Player. That's the difference. Nothing about this movie, except for the Smurfs movie that came out, that animated Smurfs movie.
Oh Lord.
These are 2 movies where I went, I didn't know it was possible to make movies that were this not compelling. I didn't know it was even like it almost takes someone talented to make a movie that's that bad.
Yeah.
Like just devoid of anything. It's almost like you're purposely doing it. It's almost like Ballad of a Small Player. It's almost like they purposely put everything I hate about movies and they just put it in a giant soup and they presented it to me. And I went, if Meryl Streep would have showed up, I would have just left. That's all it needed. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it'd be nice to her. She's gonna be in the new Cameron Crowe movie as older Joni Mitchell. So we got.
Hopefully, she gets a recast. No, I'm just kidding. No. We can talk about our boy the Christophers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun watching all together. Man, it's just there's a better movie with a better like way into the story than what it is.
Yeah.
It's just 2 people talking, and I'm the person that loves like I really like Piano Lesson, and I liked what's the other one? Anyway, like the Piano Lesson, those play-like structures. And like Blue Moon, that's the movie I was thinking of. Like I can vibe with that, but this one, I go in because it's about like artists. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in. And it's not interesting. Ian McKellen's like goofy, has fun with it, but I mean, there's such a clear point of like, ooh, I want to know more about you would think a movie called The Christophers, you would know more about what these paintings are. No, it's about a young artist and her attempt to like do them, and it's about like should she do it, the consequences, all that jazz. But I think there's just a better story of the Christophers and getting how it happened, why. Anyway, yeah, it's just a better movie there, and I wish we were more focused on for a movie called The Christophers about making the Christophers and the process of like what happened to the guy that was the subject that was a Christopher, and all that jazz. And yeah, Soderbergh.
Why was James Corden in
this? I have no idea.
Here's my thing. Steven Soderbergh, he needs to stop making 3 movies a year, because this felt like the most like half asleep at the wheel movie I've seen in a while. I mean, like at one point I wanted to be like, oh cool, another shot, reverse shot. Okay, cool, another. That's the exact same cowboy shot we got in the scene like 2 shots ago. Like he's not thinking about these. He's just like go, 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 go. For me, I think the script is lacking a little oomph, something just to keep us engaged. I think maybe you can make this work better on stage where there is a more established relationship with the audience, but on screen, this thing just felt like a Days of Our Lives episode at times. Like I was just like, all right, like when are we out of here? I don't like. Like it was stylistically uninteresting to me too. Like it just lacked any zest. As the kids say, it lacked the sauce.
Yeah. give me like a fisheye camera, 1 or 2 shots at least. Soderbergh. Yeah. Give me a POV shot.
You can do it. You literally made movies on your iPhone, like High Flying Bird and Undone, that looked better than this movie. Like, come on, man. Or is it Presence is on the phone too, right? He shot that all on the phone, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
That movie was pretty good. Like, I don't know.
And I really liked Black Bag earlier this year too. So this was just was a miss.
Rental Family was emotional gaslighting the movie. It was Dear Evan Hansen, but with a middle-aged father. I'm so glad it lost People's Choice and we'll never have to think about it again.
Poor Searchlight is like, Bradley Cooper, this movie better freaking work. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like it could. That would be sick, actually.
Yeah. I'm down for Will Arnett to crash the Best Actor race. Let's go.
That would be awesome. I would be so happy. You don't even understand.
Yeah.
Someone asked me one time, when I worked at Disney, there was a term called Blue ID celebrity. Everyone at Disney gets a Blue ID when they join the company. It gets you into the park. Well, it doesn't get you into the parks. Anyways, it's just you get a Blue ID. And it's like, oh, worker, right? A big signaling that you've been fired is when you have to turn in your Blue ID. So people would joke about what celebrity would you turn in your Blue ID for and like go meet. Like when you quit, because you're not supposed to technically introduce yourself when a celebrity is on property. And I'd be like, it's Will Arnett. Like, I would not even question it. If Will Arnett was here, I would risk my job to meet Will Arnett. So it would be cool. Anyway. Tristan, what was your 4th movie?
So there was The Christophers, Scarlet, Ballad of Small Player, and The Lost Bus, which I talked about a little bit earlier, but it's so that it's like just terrible. That movie, I mean, for a film that's so relevant and is tackling, I mean, this is about the wildfires in California, which took away so many people's houses and was absolutely devastating. And this obviously is not about this current wildfire, but one that happened a few years ago. But it taps into that. But the film feels like it was made like 30 years ago. It's just so dated. And the script is so stilted. Like these don't feel like real human beings. And then when we get to the actual like fire scenes, it's just like ridiculous amounts of CGI. It feels like Transformers. Like the way that the fire just engulfs the forest, it does not look real to me. I thought it just was so jarring, and the film just really lacked a soul. It was terrible.
Yeah. Well,
Paul Greengrass has to touch some grass.
oh, you better go back on that boat with Captain Phillips and go for the hells.
Yeah.
He's
That
not
was
the captain now.
Oh, that was our TIFF. Sorry. That was our TIFF recap, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, our TIFF recap.
Oh, next year they better be like, we're not making Tiffany 1 happen.
Yeah.
Tiffany 1. Ooh, Tiffany 1.
Yeah. Cheers to like the memories.
Yeah.
Anyone listening who hasn't been to a film festival, not even just talking about TIFF, if you're a film fan, you just have to go. The vibes are immaculate. The people you meet are immaculate. And then everyone there just loves film, and you get to watch some great films early. Hope you add some to your list, and yeah, have a good fall season. I think we have a lot of things to look forward to.
Yeah. Make sure to watch Scarlet in theater some point.
Watch it on discount day if you really are at your local Cineplex, if you really want to see it.
And then walk out and go watch one battle after another.
Heck yeah.